Hi there, welcome, thank you for tuning in. My name's Callum McDougall from Equus Industries. Today I'm going to give you a brief overview of who Equus Industries are and what we do within the New Zealand construction market. So a bit about who we are. Incorporated in Blenheim in 1982, Equus began as a coatings manufacturer and today produces hundreds of waterproof and protective coatings. We have partnerships around the globe to ensure we can provide the New Zealand industry with the best solutions for the entire building envelope. With our factory in Blenheim and head office, we've now expanded to 3 more branches across the country in Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch. We have very close working relationships with our system trained and certified applicators, and we are involved in projects across the whole sector within our construction industry. So international partners, we have a range of international partners that supply us as distributors to the New Zealand market, the main one being Suprema. So who is Suprema? Suprema is the world leading manufacturers and suppliers of waterproofing systems with the largest range of highest quality products on the globe. With Suprema's acquisition of De Boer in 2019, this has resulted in Equus Industries having access to all of these systems. A major part of our business now is roofing membranes, and probably one of the things we're more commonly known for within the building industry. We are a leader in the high quality roofing membranes, products and accessories, and these range all the way from 2-layer systems to single layer systems to liquid applied membranes, which we will touch on as we go through this. But what I'll do is I'll start on the Equus Suprema Duo. So previously known as De Boer Duo, this is the most specified and installed 2-layer torch-on membrane in New Zealand. It's manufactured in Belgium. Although it's manufactured in Belgium, it is specifically engineered and designed for the New Zealand conditions and UV exposure. Duo has over 90 years proven performance worldwide. Options these days including self-adhesive base sheets, mechanical fastening, root-resistant cap sheets for green roofs, that sort of thing. It's an SPS modified membrane with very high quality bitumen, giving it good elasticity and movement capabilities. A life expectancy of approximately 35 plus years in New Zealand, which is the highest of any membrane on the market. Now I mention this, I make note of independent testing by SGS because I don't want you to think this is some marketing or sales pitch. This is an in-depth testing done independently from Suprema or Equus. One of the key features or benefits of the Duo, it is a high quality, high end. It is our Rolls Royce as we call it. 2-layer system. Every square metre is warranted for 25 years and has a 20 years insurance backed warranty from the manufacturer, so from Suprema. We're also very proud to say we now have our code mark certification for 1 degree pitches in the Duo if your design calls for that, as well as Duo's fully brands appraised and has been for many, many years. Then we move to the Suprema Nova SK. So this is our 2-layer flameless system, manufactured in Italy with over 40 years proven performance. Proven history on the New Zealand market, although it was only acquired by Equus Industries in 2021. This was again with the De Boer buyout from Suprema. This has now become under the Equus umbrella and we are the distributors of the Nova SK. So it's a 3mm base sheet and a 4.5mm cap sheet, which is very similar along most 2-layer torch-on systems. It's a flameless installation, so we've got no torch, no naked flames on site. Again, SPS modified, so very high quality membrane, standard 20-year Equus product warranty. This is also code mark certified and brands appraised. Then we move on to the Equus Suprema Soprasun 2-layer. So this is our equivalent 2-layer membrane to most of the other 2-layer systems on the New Zealand market, where Duo sets itself above the rest with its quality and performance. SK is still very high quality. Your Soprasun is a high quality system but at a better price point, APP modified like a lot of the other membranes in New Zealand, so very comparative. Again, this has a proven history in the New Zealand market, although only acquired by Equus Industries in 2022. It's fully torch applied. fairly traditional torch iron with a 3mm base sheet and again a 4.5mm cap sheet. As I mentioned, APP modified, so it's a slightly stiffer membrane, but what it's giving you is a high quality system at a lower price point. It's the most economical choice in the way of 2-layer systems, and again comes with its standard 20-year Equus product warranty and is also code mark certified and brands appraised. A couple of examples of our 2-layer systems being used. This is the Christchurch Hospital and the Duo. Here's a residential house in the AGR, which is our black cap sheet. Another residential home in Auckland, and then we're into our TPO. So while Equus has been a 2-layer company historically, once we got into membrane, that's sort of where we sat and what we did for the New Zealand market. There is a whole sector of the New Zealand industry now wanting to go back to single layers, your TPOs, that kind of thing. So this is where our Equus Suprema flag and TPO system comes in. So TPO stands for thermoplastic polyolefin. New to the Equus Industries and the New Zealand market, our brand, in 2021, but has had years of proven performance worldwide throughout Europe. It's single layer with proven resistance to in-depth and prolonged UV exposure, far exceeding the industry norms we have. Again, a flameless installation as it's installed with adhesive and hot air. So all laps and detailing are vulcanised together with hot air, meaning there's no glues and lap tapes used in laps and upstands. It's a very economical choice and comes with a 20-year Equus Industries product warranty and is brands appraised for the use in New Zealand. Then we'll move on to warm roofs. So again, this is a very brief overview of what we do. We are available to come in and see you or your firm one-on-one, or do a Zoom or a more product specific presentation. Again, I'm just passing over things, letting you know what it is we do, what's in our arsenal and how we can help you. So warm roofs, a robust waterproofing membrane. We have options combined with thermal insulation, which is going to provide you the energy efficiency while reducing heat loss throughout the roof and maintaining a constant internal temperature. We're taking the dew point from inside the building envelope to outside the building envelope. So everyone that's watching this will be well aware. If you're not, I'll just touch on it. So the H1 energy efficiency changes, that word's got me today, came into effect May the 1st last year, 2023. This had significant impacts on the R values required for roofing walls and flooring insulation. So residential new builds and commercial builds up to 300 square metres now must perform to an R6.6 across the country, blanket. There's no longer the differing climate zones that we had where South Island, Central Plateau and Northern were all slightly different. It's now 6.6 across the board. So how can Equus and Suprema assist you with this? Well, what we do is we start with a condensation risk analysis, or a CRA, you may hear them be called. This is a site-specific, project-specific study or analysis done by our engineering team. This is free of charge to you, and this is going to give us a actual R value. It's going to ensure we've removed the dew point with the thickness of insulation we've put in, and it's going to ensure the dew point has been moved. So we have 4 easy H1 compliant warm roof systems, which I'll touch on shortly. And these range from what you're trying to design and what your budget is for this job to what components we can put in to create this system for you. But it's very easy, and it's a step-by-step process we can do over the phone or in face-to-face. So customizable, like I just said, depending on what installation or design you have. And we are able to do hybrid systems. So anyone, of course, can do a hybrid system where we use internal insulation and external insulation. However, testing for these is very tricky. Now, we're lucky with Suprema, we do have the technology now to perform CRAs on hybrid systems to help you make your decisions on how you want this to go. So Equus Industries was sort of the pioneers in the warm roof system in New Zealand. We completed the first in 2008 with our international partners De Boer. 70, this will be closer to 80% of Equus roofing projects are now warm roof systems. All our warm roof systems are project specific and built to the client's and architect's needs. They're all fully engineered by qualified engineers to ensure the condensation risk analysis, wind uplift and detailing exceeds all needs. Very important to mention here, all of this is free of charge. If you specify and work with Equus, we will do all the technical, all the engineering behind the scenes to create your system free of charge to you and your client. All of our systems are leak detection compatible, and Equus Suprema warm roofs are going to provide you and your client with a cleaner, greener, more efficient roofing system and saving in heating and cooling costs year round. So a bit about our Equus Suprema H1 compliant warm roof options. So we have Duotherm, Novatherm, Sopratherm and TPOtherm. Now they all sound familiar because I've just been through the membranes with you, the Duo membrane, the Nova SK, the Soprasun and our TPO. The therm is for the insulation component of the system. So technical support to assist your design, I sort of touched on a bit of it, will be engineered and proven with a project-specific condensation risk analysis. Costing options for all projects and budgets. We do all the hard work, and this is what I was trying to say, why they're easy H1 compliant options is we want to take the hard work and guesswork away from you. It's very easy to over-specify or worse, under-specify a warm roof. We have full building consent packages available. Simple click of a button on our website or a phone call, email, we can have you a full building consent package for you to review and attach to your documents. And again, I mentioned technical support is all free of charge to you and your client. Here's a example of a warm roof being done in Auckland at the Grafton campus, the B507 building. So here you'll see the vapour barrier being installed, followed by the insulation. This was a 2-layer insulated roof at this stage. Now, depending what you're doing, this is deemed as a high traffic area by students, so a roof board was installed as well. We do have these options within our warm roof systems for whether it be for traffic, acoustic, fire ratings. We can assist by adding or taking out different components. And then it was finished with our Duo. Came up really nice. This is the Spark building in Christchurch. I was personally involved with this one and assisting with design and then on site doing the quality assurance throughout installation. Very tricky. The parameters we were given and design were different to say the least. Very testing of our engineers' capabilities and our understanding of things. Some areas of this roof were upwards of 800 or 900 millimetres thick insulation with pipework and that running through it. We took the architect's concept and desires. We worked within our team of engineers and technical consultants, then went back to review and came to an agreement and ended up producing a very high performing roof for the Spark building in Christchurch. The Wellington Museum, so not that we can see, but it is a great photo of it, and there is a warm roof up there. Here's another one I was involved with actually. So this was actually on Grand Designs, and we were lucky enough to get involved at sort of the 11th hour when they realised the design and the existing system was going to play havoc with what was going on. So we got involved with the local contractor and a builder, came up with this, got in touch with the architect, we worked together and we ended up creating a really high performing, great looking roof in the centre of Dunedin. Then we move on to our liquid applied membranes. So these are flexible, thick, crack bridging waterproofing, chosen for ease and speed of application with a seamless finish, and very versatile as well, which I'll touch on as we go through. The first one being the Equus Chevaline decks. It's a roof and deck membrane manufactured in New Zealand for New Zealand since 1982, so it's over 40 years proven performance. It's the most specified liquid applied waterproofing membrane in New Zealand. It's an acrylic liquid membrane with a fiberglass reinforcing. The chances are you've seen this on a balcony or on a roof somewhere throughout your time. Incredibly UV resistant. As I said, we made it in New Zealand for New Zealand. Easy application and maintenance, customisable top coats to match any colour chart. Great solution for complicated detailing where sometimes sheet membrane can be very tricky. Decks are simple. If you can get a brush around it, you can Dex around it. 15-year standard Equus product warranty. However, recoating specification available to extend warranties. The other option is in 15-20 years, your roof's a bit tired, your balcony, we can come, look at it, clean it, best case scenario, clean it, repair any damage, recoat it, start the life cycle again. And again, versatile, roofs, decks, under tiles, wet areas, car parks, the list goes on. Here's an example of the Chevron decks being used on a roof. So as you can see with the detail of this gutter there, a sheet membrane would be incredibly tricky with your laps and folds. With the Chevron decks being seamless, takes away all of those areas, and there's now no water ingress points whatsoever because of laps or anything like that. So decks can still be direct stuck to with tiling. It's a bit old fashioned now. With new codes where we have the bigger threshold heights and that, the pedestals have really come in, so that's where we prefer to go. However, if you're doing a retrofit out or repairs, renovation, we can still do it. We still have the specifications and we can warrant it as a direct stuck system. And car parks. So we have a range of car park systems. I'll actually touch on them soon, briefly. But the Chevron decks also has a specification for a car park finish. Then we've got an Equus Suprema Easy Flashing. So this is another liquid waterproofing membrane. This stuff is pretty incredible. It's a Suprema product, unlike the decks that is made by Equus in New Zealand. This is a water-based liquid applied bitumen membrane for repairs and detailing. So it's very watertight, ponding resistant, really good adhesion and elasticity, which I'll touch on in a second, resistant to aging and UV, easy to apply and can actually be applied to damp surfaces. And this is the amazing thing, and the good adhesion I mentioned. It adheres to metal, concrete, insulation, bitumen membranes, rubber membranes, glass, plywood and more. Very crack resistant at low temperature and drip resistant at high temperatures. Product warranties available depending on the application, what we're doing, and what top coat we want to finish it with. Here's some examples of the easy flashing being used to repair a metal roof. So the clients didn't have the budget to replace their whole roof. So we came in, we repaired areas where we really had to with some tape, and then got a couple of coats of the easy flashing, and then put a zinc finish over it. So it looks really good, and this is going to perform, this will put another 10, 12 years up the sleeve of the client before they need to re-roof. So then there's underground waterproofing. So a very big part of our business as well, like the roofing membranes. We are involved in the high performance waterproofing membranes designed specifically to perform underground, ensuring protection of a structure's foundation. Loose laid, self-adhesive and torch on, as well as liquid options available within our arsenal. So a bit about the Equus Suprema Colfine systems, the benefits of it. So the application, horizontal surface doesn't have to be 100% dry or clean. So we can go on compacted hard fill, sand blind or site concrete. We sweep it clean so there's no big rocks or things there to puncture. But essentially any weather we can lay the horizontal application or the under slab application. So it's a very quick horizontal installation time. The special duo salvage to protect thermal insulation. So back to the H1 requirements. We can now, the issue you used to have with horizontal insulation or any torch on insulation is you were heating your laps, and you need to heat these well because that's your security from your water ingress. What it was doing is it was melting or close to melting the insulation underneath. The two options now is you can put your insulation on top of the membrane, or the duo salvage, which will come up in a slide in a minute, means the salvage edge or the join, the lap, is 50% peel and stick, so that closes, 50% heat, So then it's closed, it's protected the insulation underneath, which is more and more prevalent now on site, and we can close the lap with a confident finish. Increased flexibility at the laps due to the SBS modified bitumen. As mentioned, all bar one of our bitumen systems are SBS modified, which is the highest modification we can do. Heat welded watertight laps, resists pedestrian site traffic by other contractors. You want to be careful in tanking, particularly horizontal, with the other trades. The steelies walking over top of it. They're very simple fixes. We just make it very clear on site. Look, if you do damage it, please sing out, dazzle it for us. We will be there to fix it. It's a 2-second fix. Unlike some other ones which can get a bit snaky. Versatility, so adaptable to most construction methods, under slab, pre-applied, post-applied, and solutions for low or high hydrostatic pressure. Depending what you've got, we can look at your reports and we can advise whether we go with a BSW or a 3000. Colfin BSW, Colfin 3000. So some more benefits is the performance, which is what everyone's really concerned about. The applications on our guys, it's the performance and what you're paying for, what your client's getting at the end of the day. Adheres to reinforced concrete floor slabs, which means it resists soil sediment and dimensional movements. So where some membranes are placed on the ground and the building on top, it's still kind of a no man's land between your site slab and your building. The Colfin systems have a chemical reaction, thermal chemical reaction, where they adhere to the bottom of the slab of concrete, meaning it becomes one with the structure. So if the building moves, the membrane's moving with it. It's not sort of stuck in between the site slab and the building, not knowing which way to go. Copes well with unexpected weather conditions. Again, being a simplistic bitumen-based system with heat involved as well, we're not so reliant on the weather with some of your other style tanking membranes around the globe. And once again, less influenced by groundwater once installed. No reliance on pressure or curing. Once it's on, it's set, it's done. Lightweight membrane for wall waterproofing. And it's a complete system with its accessories and typical details. Single component liquid waterproofing for pile penetrations, pipe penetrations. Very safe and very simple to do. And can be incorporated, as I said now, with the duo salvage into the H1 energy efficiency for your under slab or wall insulation. Of course, it's got its 50-year underground durability and comes with a standard 20-year product warranty as well. So the Colfin BSW with the duo salvage. So it's designed to be used on or under insulation. This gives a 100mm wide lap rather than the traditional 80mm. That allows a 50 peel and stick, 50 torch on or hot air. And what this does, as I mentioned earlier, protects the components under the membrane from any flames or hot airs. So pre-applied waterproofing membrane systems. This is our Colfin BSW-V. So as I mentioned before, for underground is BSW-H for horizontal, Colfin BSW-V for vertical. Waterproofing adheres to the permanent formwork or drainage layer. It's a self-adhesive membrane and again has that special duo salvage lap, so we can protect what's under it but still ensure we have a really tight, good lap in this waterproofing. Then we've got some post-applied waterproofing membrane systems. So again, the Colfin BSW-V, as I just mentioned, this is areas of high hydrostatic pressure. When we're coming out of the ground sort of up to 3 meters maximum and deemed lower hydrostatic pressure, we can move to the Colfin 3000, which is the 1.5mm version of these bigger, beefier bitumen membranes. This is your 1.5mm peel and stick. Wrong mouse. So here's some examples of some tanking jobs we've done. You can see this goes under slab and pops out, and then down at the bottom there at that right angle, the walls come down and back out onto its horizontal membrane. This is DevoFlex, which has been superseded by the Colfin BSW range. The Colfin 3000 tanking system. What sets it apart, one, looks pretty cool if you look at those photos, but two, it's superior flexibility, it's puncture resistant and high tensile strength, and its self-healing qualities. So great for vapor barrier behind walls, great for tanking, great for vapor barriers on roofs, as it does self-heal a lot around these fixings. So fully self-adhered, flameless insulation, 1.5mm thick, brands appraised. Now, this is brands appraised as a tanking membrane, not a damp-proof membrane. I say that because the majority of the 1.5mm peel and stick membranes on the market are brands appraised as damp-proof membranes, DPMs. We are brands approved for waterproofing membrane, WPM. So appraised for low hydrostatic pressure with a full suite of details. Compatible with Colfin BSW underslab, so if we did use the BSW H underslab, but your walls were deemed not that much hydrostatic pressure, we didn't need to go with the BSW V, we can combine Colfin 3000 and BSW H. And of course a 20-year Equus warranty. Some options. So this is a Spark building in town. This was a very in-depth tanking system. As I mentioned the roof before, the tanking was very interesting as well, and came out really good. Christchurch Town Hill rebuild. So this was a very incredibly in-depth job of the retro rebuild of the town hall and getting in under that structure to ensure it was watertight. And happy to say, no water ingress whatsoever in the last 8-9 years since we finished it. The big one that everyone knows about, the Metro Sports facility. This was, at the time, I believe there's one in design now, the largest tanking job in New Zealand. And we were lucky enough to get it across the line and install the Equus Suprema waterproofing systems. Then we go on to coatings. So as mentioned, we were predominantly a coatings company. That's how we started. Then we moved into the waterproofing membranes, a few years down the track. But coatings is still a big part of our business. It's what we're passionate about. We have chemists and engineers at the head office and the labs that design and create these systems for the New Zealand market when the need arises. Hence our huge range, as over the years specific requirements for coatings have come up and our chemists have been able to create products for this. So still a very important part of our business. External weatherproofing or waterproof coatings with easy cleaning, chemical and graffiti resistant properties, texture coating, full crack repair and remedial systems available. Our specifications are engineered specifically to the client's requirements. So I won't touch on them too long because I could talk for hours on Equus coatings and paint systems. But in short, exterior high build coatings. You've got the Chevrolet coverall. These are all made in New Zealand by Equus, which is a high build durable eggshell finish. Your Stonewash, which is a high build durable flat matte finish. And the Chevrolet Colour Glaze, which has also got its Assure quality approved for use in food processing plants. And this has a gloss finish. Your metal coatings, the Chevrolet Colour Cure 2, which is a really high performing and also has its clean room standards. So a lot of these systems we do in the dairy industry, they are predominantly Equus paints throughout New Zealand and Australia. Then you move on to Equus Cime coating. So Cime is an international partner of ours, and this is a specialist mineral paint used a lot on heritage projects around New Zealand. So your Cime Granitol is a sustainable waterborne liquid silicate exterior paint with a matte finish for any mineral substrate. What's important is these are breathable paints. So for your old concrete heritage structures, the Cime will protect, but at the same time allow this concrete to breathe and dry out. The Lasure is a low pigmentation mineral matte finish, and this can be adjusted to suit to get any kind of finish on any kind of substrate. And then your Cime Lotexin, which is a water repellent. You don't see it, and it ensures that we don't get that moisture and that coming into the pores of your building. So just some examples, some residential apartments in Wellington, with our coverall finish. This is a Cime system. The orange there is a Cime Lasure, and this is Eden Park Stadium in Auckland. And here you can, well, you can't see because it's our low Texan, which is our clear water repellent. So this was installed on this Church of the Good Shepherd in Lake Tekapo a good 12 years ago, and it hasn't needed a recoat since. So hygiene and agriculture coatings. As mentioned, we do a lot within the hospitality, health and dairy industry within New Zealand, and we've got specialist solutions for a variety of situations in dairy and agriculture, and specific systems are designed to provide easy to clean, pollutant resistant finishes in all areas of processing plants and dairy sheds. As you can see here, Edendale Dairy Factory, as well as all the other ones around New Zealand, these are covered in Equus paints inside and out, and generally have Equus waterproofing on them as well. Flooring is a part of our business we again are quite passionate about. We have professional floorers, incredibly experienced within our industry, and we have a range of flooring options from your changing rooms at the local rugby club to a kitchen at the hospital to the floor in your winery, for example. So a range of epoxy and polyurethane floor coatings providing easy, clean, hygienic, chemical resistant, medium to heavy duty floor finishes. We've got our Assure Quality certification and Clean Room Standard 14644 approved systems with standard colours and colour matching available. So industrial flooring. The first thing we do when you come to us with a floor is we'll ask you questions. What's the intended use? What's the size? What's the finish you're after? What's the cleaning regime? What sort of chemicals are going to come into touch with it? And then what's the budget your client has? So we go from industrial flooring, where you'll see in industrial kitchens of the like at stadiums, hotels, hospitals, to factory floors. So a simple EpiStix Rapid system, which is a two-part waterborne epoxy, mix it up, roll it on in a couple of coats, very high end. This is done in airport hangars, workshops, ablution blocks, you name it. More Equus floors, so Synlait Dairy Factories done again in the EpiStix systems. To a hospital kitchen floor, again done in a Duracon. So this is a more aesthetically pleasing, hard wearing, easy cleaning system. Then car parks. So under flooring comes our car parks. We would be a New Zealand leader in the car park game. It has got a lot more competition out there now and options for you. But one of the ones that has always stuck ahead of itself is the Matacrawl system that Equus provides to the New Zealand market. So here you'll see the Hub Hornby car park. This is in Matacrawl. So all the paint you see is Matacrawl. This is a non-slip, easy to maintain, fast system with great crack bridging capabilities and very hard wearing for vandalism, that kind of thing. And the other version is the under asphalt. So if they're not going for a concrete painted finish and they want an asphalt finish, Equus Anti-Rock, which is a thicker single layer torch on, which gets applied first to primer on the substrate, and then hot asphalt is rolled and applied on top. So we're waterproofing underneath the asphalt rather than coating the top of the concrete for waterproofing. Now the thing that sets us apart is I've given you a brief overview of systems and products that Equus supply, but anyone's going to do a webinar or pop into your office and talk about products they supply. What sets us apart is our technical support. We provide you free of charge, as I mentioned, throughout the whole process. We just need to start the conversation, and then we'll help walk you through it. We'll take away the boring hard stuff to leave you with the more exciting, aesthetically pleasing parts of your design. So for specifications, of course, you can find us on MasterSpec, ArchiPro, ArchiFi. We have a range of standard specifications, both Equus specs and MasterSpec specs, and we can adjust and project specific any specification at the drop of a hat. Work sections available on MasterSpec. You'll see we've got our Duo roof and deck membrane, the Duo Therm roof and deck, the Nova SK, Sopra Sun Plus, Suprema Coalfield tanking systems, our TPO systems, our deck systems, and our fixed plus deck and tile support, which is our pedestal system. So these are all available. They are very easy to change in that, or you can click support and one of our technical consultants will be in touch to help you through the process. So as mentioned before about tech support, we'll provide all your details, a huge range of standard details available. However, we will work with you to provide project specific details in DWG, CAD, PDF for you to add into your drawings, or we have them available on site for anyone to look at during installation. Technical support, quality assurance and inspection. So we're not just membrane peddlers. We turn up. We're not just trying to sell the product. We're going to come to site, work with our certified applicators at different intervals, sign areas off, inspect areas, get photos. At this time we can help with detailing. Things always pop up on site. Equus stands alone with its on-site technical support. We don't have one technical rep running around. Every person within our company is either a tradie or ex-tradie and highly qualified to come to these sites and do these quality assurance sign-offs and inspections with the builders, the clients and our contractors. Further from our technical support is the project specific reports. So as I mentioned earlier, our CRA or condensation risk analysis, it's not one shoe fits all. Same as our wind uplift studies, it's not, well, the lower part of the South Island is one, the North Island's two. These come down to the actual site address, and it's amazing the results I see come back sometimes where you might have two apartments beside each other and they have a different wind uplift, and that's due to the exact site specific wind uplift studies that are done. And that comes back to you in a range of forms. The middle one you can see on your screen here that's your fixing plan. So that's what we work with the contractors on site to say this is exactly how it must be fixed to exceed any wind uplifts. So again, taking that away from you. And then obviously a condensation risk analysis, which you'll see on the right, gives you your build up of all the components. We then type in the use of the building, where the building is, and that's going to punch out figures that tell us, yes, you've got the right thickness of insulation, or no, you could actually use a thinner insulation and up your vapor barrier a little bit. So it's also a very good value engineering exercise early in the project. Look, that's it from me basically. I appreciate you listening. I know I probably drone on a little bit. I'm not sort of made for these webinar things. I prefer face-to-face or that kind of thing. But lastly, what you'll see is the Equus certified applicators tick. It's behind me on there. So we have a range of applicators, a range of technical support staff around New Zealand that are ready to assist you wherever you need. So where you can find us, as mentioned before, is MasterSpec, ArchiPro, Archify, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and obviously at our website www.equus.nz. Well, thank you very much. Again, just a list of some of the things we do. Please get in touch. It's only a phone call away. Give us a shot and see what we can do for you, and we'll go from there. Great, thank you. Bye-bye.